guys, welcome to another episode of Anime Podcasters. Today in this episode, we are doing, what are we doing, Jaian?
First of all, man, it's so good to be back. Second of all, we're doing something. And also, we can't podcast without a ginger. You know what I'm saying?
Sure you can. Give it a try. You just haven't tried hard enough yet.
No. Hotshot, you're on that episode streak. We need you here. And today, we're going to be doing a very exciting episode, which is animes we don't plan on watching ever. Animes that we won't watch again, basically. This is a do not watch list or do not recommend list, basically. Animes we're not going to start. Would you describe it in any other way, Murel or Hotshot?
Yeah, I guess our own personal ban list or something?
I guess so. That would be a way to say it. What about you, Hotshot?
Our personal blacklist. Well,
hey, we're back.
Now, some of these that we're going to talk about, like either two of us have watched or all of us have watched and one of us didn't like or one or the other. But it's just something that doesn't fit our personal tastes. So
exactly.
You guys might hear some popular shows or shows that you've heard us talk about in the past. From our personal standpoint, it's a darkness we'd rather not go back to.
Basically, before we get into anything, two quick housekeeping notes. I want to remind you guys that we no longer have host-read ads on Anchor. So if you guys want to support the podcast, you can use the listener support link in the description of the episode, wherever you're listening to this episode on. And also, we have a new most viewed video version of the podcast. Episode 100 recently crossed 800 streams and beat the My Guy versus All Might episode we did forever ago, Hotshot. So we have a new most popular episode on all platforms, I think. On any platform, I think it's our biggest one now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
thank you,
episode
guys.
100. Yeah, thank you guys so much for that. Okay, let's get started. This is going to be an open format, nothing list based on this one. I'm just going to open the floor here because I see it twice on the Google document. And Hotshot, I know you're passionate about this one. One Piece. I think the argument here is Murel and I haven't started. It has so many episodes, so why would you ever start? You know what I mean? What's your response to that, Hotshot?
I mean, you've asked the same question when we actually did do the One Piece episode. You sent a voicemail to us. And I said it's the fact that the characters grab me so much. Like, I know that One Piece is a commitment of a show. And yes, it really is. But if you do it for, like, let's say you work an 8-hour job and you get home, you watch One Piece or just have it on in the background, but you know what's going on. It only takes about 2 months to actually get caught up. Like, that's about how long it took me to get to the time skip.
And how many episodes were you watching a day when you were doing that?
Roughly 20.
Okay, you see what I mean, though? You see what I mean?
I'm not gonna deny that it's a lot to take in, because yeah, there are a lot of episodes, and
he does have a lot of time on his hands. I see.
I really don't. I mean, with me working as much as I do and me working on other projects, I just had it on, and then I just got somewhat lucky when I got COVID and had time to watch it, but still.
No one ever has said that. When I got lucky when I got COVID. That's how much he loves this show, Murel.
It just meant I had like a couple weeks to watch more.
Right. Murel, for you, is that basically the argument? You won't start watching this because of how
too many episodes, so little time, because I have this podcast, I've work, and I also have college, so it's like I have no time on my hands. So
yeah, exactly. I totally understand that. I feel like that's basically the big thing with One Piece. Is it a good show? Absolutely, it is quality. So another one I see here, I kind of want to hit on, Naruto. Naruto for you, Murel. Why is that? Is it you won't watch it again, or you won't watch it at all?
Like, the thing is that, like, I loved the original back in the day, back when it first started, right? I liked it, but I also had, like, it was more of a love-hate kind of relationship kind of thing, right? Like, I loved watching it, but I also hated watching it because I couldn't really stay with the storyline, because, like, back in the day, it was just on TV and stuff. I didn't have any of the tapes, so it's like, if I miss one episode, I do not know what's going on. So I have to try to play it by ear and try to figure out what happened, so I know what to do, what's going on, right?
Right.
And it's just because of that, of what happened back then. I'm not going to pick it up, because also, like, One Piece, there's too much stuff, right? There's now Naruto's kid, right?
Boruto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it makes
And-
you feel any better, Murel, I'm not going to watch Boruto. And I love Naruto and I love Naruto Shippuden. I'm not touching Boruto.
Yeah, it's just like there's a lot and stuff, right? And
Keep in mind with these animes, like especially with One Piece and Naruto, there's not just the shows to go through, but there's also all the movies that came out. Like Naruto alone has like 9.
I mean, I was gonna say the same thing to you, as Hotshot, pardon me. Naruto is just another one of those huge episode amounts, and I feel like it's one of those shows that, yes, it stands the test of time in terms of how large of a fan base it has. But if you didn't start watching in the 2000s, when it was like very popular, and it still is, but not as popular as the 2000s, as when it was in the 2000s, pardon me, I feel like it's hard to get into. But I did see, I don't know, a quick sidebar here. Did you guys see that there's apparently a whole new reanimation, like actual like re-release of the series coming?
no.
I didn't think it was a whole re-release of the series. I think it was just a fan animated thing to celebrate 20 years of Naruto. I don't think it's
they're
a
doing
new
a huge
series
thing.
release.
I think they're like remastering it or something. I think there's something in the works like that. I've seen it enough times on Twitter where it doesn't feel like a rumor anymore.
Were they just sharing the animation?
No, they were sharing animation, and I think it was like from the official Naruto account. So, and it looks so much better.
I think it was just celebrating 20 years of Naruto, dude, because they were doing it for Shippuden and regular Naruto.
I'm not sure. Murel, just Google this for me. Just Google like Naruto reanimation. Are you seeing like any sort of news, like any sort of like articles are coming up if you type in because I'm seeing here Dual Shocker.
Yeah, it just says Naruto reanimated 20th anniversary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
reanimated scenes from the series.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a celebration of the 20th anniversary. It's not a new series coming.
The 9-minute 55-second long PV shared by the creators is titled Road of Naruto. Okay, it's like a little segment of it. Okay, that's cool. I mean, I really recommend people go check out this video. It's on the dualshockers.com/Naruto 20th anniversary PV. It looked beautiful, and it felt very nostalgic. So, but I think that kind of wraps it up on the whole Naruto talk. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with that.
All I was going to say was I did grow up with Naruto. Like, I did miss more than a few episodes because growing up, I wasn't really allowed to watch TV. That's why I played so many video games. But, like, every time I spent a weekend at a buddy's of mine, we would see if Naruto was on. Or anytime I spent the night at my grandma's, I would go on Toonami and watch Naruto. So I only saw, like, 2 or 3 episodes of the Zabuza arc, like 4 episodes of the Forest of Death, the entirety of the first round of Chunin exams, and pretty much missed the rest until the series finale.
Right.
But until I went back and I got the DVDs and actually watched the series, because I still loved it that much.
I understand.
Yeah.
Hotshot, other than Naruto, what are some animes that you wouldn't ever start? Let's start with like animes you're just never gonna touch.
Berserk, honestly, but it's a very specific circumstance. Berserk has a really bad CG animation series,
right?
And it's horrendous.
Okay.
Like I have seen a couple clips, and in the Berserk game they use the clips from there for cutscenes in the game, but the game looks gorgeous. The CG in that specific one, basically the remaster of Berserk, is hideous. There is an original anime for Berserk like that was made in the 80s, like 86 or something like that it looks far superior, that I'd check out first.
And when did it come out?
The CG one, I think, came out in the 90s or early 2000s.
I'm pretty sure it was 2016, right?
Okay, so it might have been that then. I don't know the year off the top of my head. I do know the original came out like sometime in the 80s.
Interesting. 2016. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's the one I wouldn't touch.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I don't know. I've heard so many mixed reviews on Berserk. To me, it just feels like polarizing is the best way to describe this anime.
Berserk as a series, and as a franchise, is one of the most brutally graphic and horrendous show, like in a good way, horrendous on that one, because the deeds that people do are so horrendously bad that it kind of grabs you in a major shock value.
Right.
For me, the 2016 is just the visual animation aspect. Like, it has one of the most brutal mangas, as like one of the most disturbing stories, and the main character is literally getting pissed on for like every chapter of every step of his journey, and he just overcomes it.
No, I see what you mean. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I think Berserk just stands like I said. It's one of those animes that when people watch it, it seems to have like a very loyal fan base. A lot of people like rate this anime on a high. You know, like I'm seeing here on the wiki page, IGN contributors gave the opening episodes an 8.5 out of 10. That's a really solid score from IGN as an opening like episode. But like, I don't know, I just feel like this anime is intense and brutal. I know that the re-release is the one that you wouldn't watch. Have you ever watched the original one, the one from the 90s?
I've watched like 2 episodes of it and previously, and honestly, that one I wouldn't mind watching. It would take me a little bit because of how bad it can be. Like, take a minute, digest, process what you just saw, and then come back for more. But I would eventually watch the majority of it.
Fair enough on the Berserk things. Another one that's really weird to me. I mean, I get it that you don't want to rewatch this and you watch this on a bad Hotshot, but like, tell me about Terran Resonance and why it's on the Google Docs for you.
So it's no surprise. I've brought this up to you, and I've brought this up to our audience more than numerous times. It's no surprise that like deep thinking, like cerebral, heavy, and intellectual animes or shows in general, I don't really grab all that well. And Terran Resonance is one of those that, like specifically, it's talking about their tactics and why they're doing what they do, planning like 20 steps ahead. Like, it's very strategic, and to me, I find that extremely boring. And it's not on my list just because we've talked about it numerous times, but Death Note would also be on here, and especially for that same reason, because it's very intellectual, it's very brainy. Whenever I'm watching stuff, I don't really want to think about all that stuff. I'm more so of the, okay, what's the monster of the week going to be this time? Like, I'm not saying I don't watch any smart shows, but with one that has to do with terrorists and one that has to do with just people dying of heart attacks over and over, I don't really have enough action to get synced into it.
Okay, let me ask you this. How much is it based on the fact that I know that you love making yourself original characters and involving yourself in the universe of the things that you watch, and when the universes tend to be a lot darker, such as Terran Resonance and Death Note, it kind of like that switch doesn't flip on for you. Is that part of it for you too?
Not that I've thought about it, but probably not, because if I really stepped myself into it, I could probably make a character for myself, because I've made a character for me in Berserk. I could do one.
Really?
I could do one in Death Note, and I could do one in Terran Resonance if I cared enough.
Okay, fair enough. Murel, I'm curious to know. This is like one of my favorite animes. Have you ever heard about Terran Resonance before?
I haven't, but I just finished looking it up, and I'm gonna watch it probably.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, after looking into it a little bit, this is one anime. If I can, I'm just gonna give the quick plot here because how much I love it. Basically, it's in present time. Well, obviously this was in 2014 when it released, but it's in present time Japan, and there's a video uploaded online of 2 teenagers wearing face masks saying, oh, there's going to be a bombing sort of thing happening in the Shinjuku area in Tokyo. In Tokyo City. And then what happens is like these cops, they see this video and they don't make much of it, and then it actually happens exactly how the video described what would happen, and then all they have as proof, all they have is this video that was uploaded on the internet, and they're like, what is going on? So it's a psychological thriller, and it's 11 episodes. It runs really quickly, and it's so good. They really like try to solve the crimes. It's very Death Note like in the sense that you get the perspective of the bad guys as the main characters, but the bad guys have their own points of view, and they're doing this for a very specific reason. It's very convoluted, I think. Would you agree with that word, Hotshot, when I'm saying that the plot of this anime is quite convoluted?
And that's why I don't get into it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. And Hotshot watched this, like a little bit of history for the pre-100 pre-Murel era people. Hotshot lost the bet, and I made him watch this anime, and that was the only way we were ever gonna do a Terror in Resonance episode on this podcast, if I'm being honest.
And it doesn't hurt the fact that this was Jaden's favorite anime at the time. I don't know if it is still.
No, Dragon Ball took it over.
Okay. But at the time, Terror in Resonance was your favorite anime, so even if I won the bet, you would have probably hounded me to try and eventually get me to sit down with Terror in Resonance.
Yeah, exactly. No, very, very much so. I cannot disagree. Okay, I'm gonna go to my other pick. Here,
I was gonna ask you about yours, but I think I know why it's on there.
For me, this anime. Listen, this anime is good. This anime is very, 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 very good. I watched the first few episodes, loved it. The big thing for me as to why I'm not watching this is because it got discontinued. Apparently, it wasn't popular enough in Japan. They didn't sell enough manga, or they didn't get enough views. I don't know. It didn't hit the metric it was supposed to hit. And it's very surprising to me that it didn't, because it's really, really, really good. Like, it's just a really good show. I'm talking about Dead Man Wonderland that came out in 2011, and it's discontinued. It's basically, how would you describe this? Like action, fiction,
it's very
apocalyptic thing.
It's very sci-fi action and a little bit of thriller, because there is a mystery proved to it, like a conspiracy theory, stuff like that. Who did what and why? Like, why did all this happen? And there's also a bit of like a horror aesthetic to it, but it's very brutal and very bloody. And frankly, I really love this anime. I would watch this 100 times more. And I'm going to pose a question to you, Jaden. So lately, you say one of the main reasons that you won't watch this anime or finish this anime is because it got discontinued, right?
Yes.
In recent years, we've been getting old shows come back with a resurgence, like either a continuation or a second season or something along those lines.
Or a complete overhaul.
Like Devil's a Part-Timer ended in 2014 with season 1. And then we recently got season 2 like maybe a year ago. Bleach ended like early 2000s, and now it's just now making a comeback. Panty and Stocking ended like in 2012 on a cliffhanger because it got canceled because it wasn't hitting the metrics. And now we're confirmed for getting a season 2 of that.
Right.
So my question is, if we ever, I'm not saying we will, but if we ever get a confirmed season 2 or a continuation of some type for Dead Man Wonderland, would you watch it then?
Yes, I would. Absolutely. Like I said, it's a good show. Like, I can't dog it too much. It's really solid. But I'm looking it up here, and apparently the premise seemed interesting in concept, but the anime strayed a bit too far from the manga, and it omitted characters and rushed storylines, and apparently that garnered a poor reception among many viewers, and after 12 episodes, it was cast aside.
In that case,
from Looper.com.
In that case, there's a possibility we might get like a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment, to where they rehaul it and do it more faithfully to the manga. I'm not saying I've heard anything. I'm just saying it's a slight possibility, because series that we've long thought have died are making a comeback.
Right. What about you, Murel? Like, when you hear a series being discontinued, would you want to even watch it, even though you know it just doesn't end? It just cliffhangs you. Would you still?
I've watched like a few animes that are like that. and stuff like that. So like I do like watching them, even if I know that I'm going to be left on a cliffhanger. It just brings out more of the creative side of my brain, trying to figure out what could the possible realities of this storyline could go, right?
Right.
Like, would this happen, or would this happen, or would a complete overhaul, like the main character becoming, instead of being the hero, ends up having a mental breakdown, becoming the villain, and the villain actually has to go and be the hero to take him down, or whatever, right?
Yeah. But like specifically with Dead Man Wonderland, would you watch that knowing that it's discontinued after 12 episodes?
Oh yes, I would.
And why?
Mainly because like you said, it's sci-fi based and stuff, right? Yeah, mainly just that sci-fi based, and also
You
conspiracies.
hear the word sci-fi and just
more
yeah.
conspiracies, because like I love watching conspiracies and stuff like that, and this show seems like it would be my kind of jam, and it's only 12 episodes, so it's gonna be a nice watch.
Right. The thing is, now that I think about it, this anime, although discontinued, has a manga. I wonder if the manga continues.
The manga
after
continued
this.
on.
Huh. That's interesting. I never thought of that until this very moment, because this topic of Dead Man Wonderland's come up on the podcast a lot. What do you know about the manga, Hotshot? Like
Absolutely nothing. The only thing
Okay.
the only thing I know is after me and Kyo watched Dead Man, and he told me that it cliffhang at the very last episode. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's it. I was looking up to see if it continued somewhere else, somehow else. And yeah, it looked like the manga did push on. I don't know how much further, like if it was like 2 or 3 more issues or what, but I do know it kept going at the time.
right. I'm literally on the Dead Man Wonderland Reddit right now, and I'm just seeing all these threads of like manga versus anime comparisons, and it's just like there's like lists of characters that are not even in the anime. So yeah, I mean, listen, if you're not gonna build your anime series faithful to the manga, fans are gonna riot, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with Full Metal Alchemist until Brotherhood came out.
Yeah, true. All right, I think that's enough Dead Man Wonderland talking. We have 2 more topics to hit on. Let's go over to you, Murel. What's that last one that you will never ever watch ever again for the rest of your life? Murel, after this, you will never ever even be allowed to watch this anime. What is it? No kidding. What's up?
Just Bleach. Basically, I tried to get into watching Bleach, but I needed Bleach for my eyes and my ears. So, brutal.
What?
Nah, it's just Bleach. Like, I might go back into watching it. It's
Right.
just like if I have time and stuff like that, right? But like I only watched the first few episodes of the series and stuff back when it came out, and my little kid brain, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
You're gonna have to go deeper for me, man. I'm not understanding your point, if I'm being honest.
He got
It's
bored.
just like, yeah, I got bored watching it.
How bored?
Like
he
to the
needed
point
bleach
where
for his ears and eyes, Jaden.
Yes,
if you want to pour bleach into yourself, you're done.
yes. But also, plus, like back when it came out, I watched the first few episodes. I looked at my Game Boy at the time. And I'm like, this is way better. And I just opened up Pokemon Emerald at the time, and I'm like, this is better.
I can't really say I blame you if I'm being totally honest, Murel. I tried to get into Bleach myself too, like back in the day. But recently, especially with its resurgence, I actually did pick up the original Bleach series. I'm going to give it another shot because back when I was watching it, I didn't watch a whole lot of anime at the time. Like the only one that I knew was Naruto and Dragon Ball. But now that I've watched more, like Demon Slayer, One Punch Man, Mob Psycho, Dead Man Wonderland, so on and so forth, I actually might like it more. So I'm going to give it another shot. But out of the big 3, especially at the time, yeah, it's not really one that grabbed me all that much.
This is not a big 3 anime, though.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing.
What?
It is.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball,
Bleach.
Naruto, One Piece.
Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece are the big 3.
Not Dragon Ball?
Not Dragon Ball.
Bleach, the TV series, has around 366 episodes.
Damn.
No, wait. What do you mean, like, okay, what's your measurement of big three here?
Big three are the three shonen that came out around the same time that did insane amount of numbers. And that was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach at the time. Dragon Ball as a franchise was already out. It came out in the 80s. These guys all came out with like a few months of each other.
So you're using a measurement
in the 90s.
Of like, of time.
Because that's what it was. It's when they came out.
Okay. I thought you meant like the big, most popular three. Okay, I understand what you mean.
Well, I mean, that's me, what it combined. Like,
Dragon Ball.
If you speak like personal big three, then yeah, Dragon Ball is definitely going to be one for you. But in the time frame, it was the three most popular anime that did the biggest amount of numbers, like for anime and manga, when they came out, and they were all within like 3 months of each other. That's why they earned the title Big Three. Yeah, it was of only shonen.
Yeah. Okay, just so we don't trigger all of the anime fans at once. But yeah, the big three. There's a otaku fandom interesting. The big three term used to describe three most popular running series in their golden age in the mid 2000s periods, and in the jump, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, the big three. Because they were immensely popular and long running, and the main three protagonists have Luffy, Naruto, and Ichigo, and you can see here on these, there's a lot of jump issues, and the cover is like all three of these, So, 366 episodes of Bleach, 720 of Naruto, and 1,000 plus of One Piece. So yeah, no, I totally understand what you mean. I guess like, what would you say? Actually, quick sidebar here. What would you say right now the big three would be?
Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and My Hero Academia.
Yeah. I know it's not running, but I think like Assassination Classroom would be like on the cusp of that too. Personally,
are you saying personal big three, or what do I think would fit the same
I think
moniker?
The big three. No, if they're the same moniker, I think the big three is absolutely what you said. I agree with that, but I'm thinking like Assassination Classroom is probably like it's like if there was a big four, Assassination Classroom would also be in there.
As much as I want to agree with that, I don't think I can. Like, Assassination Classroom is an incredible anime. Like, I love it, and I know there's a lot of fans that love it, but I don't think it did the same kind of numbers as the previous big three, let alone what, quote unquote, the current big three is doing.
Last one I want to get into with you, Hotshot. What is it, Hotshot?
I'm waiting. You said you wanted to get into it. I'm waiting.
I want to get into it, but like, say it for me, because this one I recommended to you because of how much you love that type of anime, and I feel like I really thought it was up your alley, but obviously it's not if it's on this list.
So what is it?
Dude, just say it. Come on, it's yours.
Fine. I don't want to draw it out that much. Grand Teacher Onizuka. And
Great Teacher Onizuka.
Whatever. I don't care. It's on this list.
I love GTO.
I love GTA. I'll play that. I won't watch GTO.
Yeah, Great Teacher Onizuka.
Yeah, I mean, when you recommended it to me, it did sound awesome, and I did check out about 4 or 5 episodes. I didn't get into it because Teacher Onizuka is like, I like pervy master characters. Like, I love Pervy Sage. I love Master Roshi, but when they're done well, and I don't really think Onizuka was done well, and he's the focus of the show. And it just got to be too much, especially when, like, it's early 90s animation, so it didn't really grab me visually wise either. Like, I don't really have a problem with early 90s animation, usually. Like, I watch Speed Racer, and that's way older, but just for some reason for Onizuka, it wasn't getting me as much.
Right. No, I understand. I really get where you're coming from with that. Onizuka is like a super vulgar character, extremely perverted. It's really weird where it goes, and it definitely doesn't stand the test of time as an anime. It's one of those shows that's, I think it would be canceled if it came out now. I think it would have
Here, when you recommended it, I was really hoping to really get into it. Like, I don't think it'd be in my top 10 favorite animes or anything like that, but I was at least hoping to like be willing to talk about an episode on it with you or something like that.
I think we did one episode where I like pitched it to you or something.
There was, and I was in the middle of watching. I was in like 2 or 3 episodes, and I kind of just backhanded it, like, yeah, maybe we'll see. I'm in the process of watching it. I'm saying now, no.
Right. Murel, what do you know about Great Teacher Onizuka, or what are your thoughts on what
I
we
have
discussed
no clue what that is.
And what are your thoughts on what we discussed so far? Maybe just like
It's basically just like Master Orochi from Dragon Ball, but worse.
Don't drag Master Roshi through the mud like that.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying Roshi deserves better.
Yeah.
It's more, I'd say it's more like Oolong trying to be a teacher.
Why Oolong?
Because Oolong, like, all Oolong wanted was Bulma's panties, for starters. And then he was just, that's what he was hyper-focused on.
That.
And that's actually what he used the Dragon Ball Wish on. So it's like that.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That was literally the first wish ever in the series, right?
Yeah, for panties.
Oh my god.
Inadvertently, it saved the world, but it was still a wish for panties.
Ugh, what a series.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, these like, I really need the audience to understand, like, these are not shows that I know it's obvious to say that we won't watch them, but they really have these weird quirks is like the theme. The more we get into this, like, shows like Berserk and Great Teacher Onizuka specifically in here, they really have weird quirks, and they really go to an extreme that's not for everyone. And I think that's a big reason as to why they're not going to be rewatched by us. Or, like, example, for once again, like Hotshot, like, you know, Terror in Resonance goes to a dark extreme that you wouldn't want to watch. I think there's a correlation between the extremes that these shows will go to and why we won't rewatch them or even watch them in the first place. Do you agree with that, Hotshot, or what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I do. Yeah, because some anime will hit different in a good way, and some will hit you different in a bad way. Like, leave a bad taste in your mouth that you don't want anything to do with. Like, another one I'm not gonna talk about, but I am gonna bring up because it came out years ago, is Golden Boy. But one that I want to check out, but one that I do check out regularly, that is a super old one, is Speed Racer. And I love Speed Racer and I love Astro Boy, and they're even older than the oldest ones that I brought up.
Astro Boy is the first anime ever, by the way.
Is it, or is it just one of?
Yeah, it's the very first anime ever.
Oh shit! Okay, I like the originals.
I mean, you can't go more original than Astro Boy.
You really can't, apparently.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying. I mean, these were basically all the animes that we won't watch. Do you guys have animes that you don't recommend at all, or don't want to watch, or won't rewatch, or, you know, just give your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's kind of just do a quick reminder: One Piece, Dead Man Wonderland, Bleach, Naruto, GTO, Zankyou no Terror, Berserk, and final thoughts for me. Just, you know, this is very taste and opinion based. Obviously, if some of these sound like something you want to watch, like, you know, don't take our words on a silver platter. Be like, oh, because they said so, I can't watch it. You know, like, anime's there to be consumed. So go ahead. And I mean, even like it's.
Even we as a trio, like, our tastes differ tremendously. Like,
so much.
Jaden's right. I like dirtier shows that I'll watch that he won't touch. And all the shows that they brought up, Dead Man, the big three, I would watch in a heartbeat. And one of the shows that I brought up, Great Teacher Onizuka, whatever, Jaden would watch again, and I want nothing to do with. It's all very opinion based, and take it with a grain of salt. You're free to like what you like, free to hate what you hate, and no one can really take that from you. So your voice matters.
Exactly. Murel, what are your final thoughts on all of this?
We all have our own opinions about these shows. Of course, our own opinions are not going to be a popular opinion upon bunch of people. It's just that we have our own issues with the shows that we presented, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't know if issues is the right word. It's more like preferences, I think.
Yeah, preferences and or issues because, well, the terror one, right, does have a lot of issues, right? And if it was made nowadays, it would definitely get canceled fast.
I mean, it was on the blacklist, so
Yes.
I get where you're coming at here. I think there's like a lot of these shows would actually end up on a blacklist. I like obviously not
Yes.
Naruto or One Piece, but I feel like GTO, Terran Resonance, Berserk, and Dead Man Wonderland, they all get blacklisted easily, easily.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I hear you on that. Okay, let's wrap things up. This was another episode of Anime Podcasters. You can follow the podcast at Anime Podcasters on social media. Make sure to follow all of us on our social media. All the links are in the description. The artwork for Anime Podcasters is provided by GoProKyo, so make sure to go follow him on Twitter at GoProKyo. And I am at JaianMusic on social media. JaianMusic.com is also my website. Subscribe to the podcast. All of our links are in the description. And you can leave us a voicemail on speakpipe.com/anime podcasters. You can become a guest if you want. You can take the survey in the description. All of that is linked down below, as well as listener support. Murel, where can people find you?
People can find me in the description below and on this podcast. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, literally anywhere, even Reddit. And all the links are in the description below.
Perfect. Hotshot, where can people find you and your twitching?
You guys can find me right here on Anime Podcasters, wherever podcasts are listened to. You can find me over on Twitter at Hotshot Ginger and on my own personal YouTube channel, Hotshot Ginger. Jaden, I'm going to be putting down Twitch for a bit because I've been having internet issues at home where everything will crash and not work. So unfortunately, guys, the hiatus on Twitch is going to continue on a little bit longer. When it comes back up, I will be letting you guys know. It is something I want to pursue and something I want to continue. Unfortunately, it's just something that's not in the cards right now.
I totally understand, man. Totally understand. And I'm excited for whenever Hotshot will be returning to Twitch. He will let me know before he goes live, and I'll tweet out the link, obviously. So just still follow his Twitch in the description down below, even though if it's going on hiatus. Okay, so that's everything. Hotshot, is the next episode going to be One Piece Part 2 or not?
One more buffer episode, I feel like. Let it teeter on the audience just a little bit longer.
Okay, make sure to go watch that One Piece episode, by the way, guys, because that was an immense and great episode breaking down the whole pre-time skip. Really interesting conversation. If you're a One Piece fan, episode 140 is for you. Okay, so for myself, Hotshot, Murel Koval, this has been another episode of
The Show We Do.
The show.
Us talking.
Jaian not responding.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying that, so let's let it go on a little bit longer.
Agreed.
Anime Podcasters.
Bye, guys.
Anime podcasters.
Bye.